Why don't you see? Oh, no, you do see the mic, but I don't think you hear. Do you hear game sound? Hold on. Here we go. Come on. Yay. I think now you get audio. Hi, it's Staff Slayer. Good to hear y'all. Hold on. Let's just make sure the rest of the stream is working because I am convinced it is not. Desktop audio should be. I think it's gone to the. Should be that. Testing. Let's see. Oh, hey, Andrew. Oh, yeah, it's working. There we go. Good to see you. Sorry to hear about your trip nonsense. I'm glad you're back here in snowy New York, though. Is the audio, like, good? Like, would you change the audio balance? Because I hate screwing my settings and then it's, like, off. Yeah, I know. I hope the audio's not a hot mess. I just hope the whole scenario of you stopping. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But man, I read your story. I was like meant to reply. I'm like, oh my god, what a mess. But you know, glad you were able to get a full refund and everything. Cause, woo, I would be so nervous about that. One of my personal fears in life is getting to the airport late. And I'm one of those people that like tries to show up at minimum 3 hours early. So I know it's totally out of control sometimes. Some days it's like, oh man, these cars are not cooperate, or I really just don't want to like deal with that. But yeah, no, beautiful cold weather here. It's actually like pretty warm today compared to what it was like last week. We're like at a solid 48 degrees. And you know, as you can see, I'm in like tank top right now. So that's always cute and whatnot. But anyway, thanks for joining the stream. What we have going on today, it's a little Zelda 1. It's Nintendo Entertainment System. Just so everybody knows, if you're not familiar how I play it on the channel, historically I've always played it as a randomizer. So they'll like shuffle all the dungeons, locations, the items you get, the enemies that show up. Because I've played this game, honest to God, the original way, maybe about 300 times in my life. I've gotten to the point where I could beat the first quest in Zelda 1. I could do it in under an hour. And I've done it. I've been like getting better at speedrunning it. There's certain things that I can't do. So TLDR, I'm really good at this game. Like I'm not bad. So what this was like a ROM hack that recently, like I noticed was being posted around the Zelda community about like 2 weeks ago, where instead of there being an overworld, an underworld, and fighting the dungeons and fighting the Triforce, they made a 255 floor dungeon that you gotta get through. And you'll get certain items along the way, certain enemies show up, the enemies are all randomized. So I anticipate this to be kind of difficult, but let's jump in. You know, so you start with the sword, it looks like. So that's good. Cool, first room. Okay, we got like nothing enemies. I imagine this is gonna get harder as we go along. But right now, wooden sword. Nothing special. And I think you could go in like whatever door you want. Like there's no like actual dungeon navigation. It might as well just have one door leading front, back, front, back, front, back. You know, like you could think of this as like in Wind Waker, where you have that like 100 level dungeon, or like in Breath of the Wild in the downloadable content. So you're really just fighting floor after floor after floor. Like you'll notice, like it doesn't matter what like order you go in. Ooh, we need that. The clock slows down. So I'll explain things as I go. Definitely want to pick up rubies. Definitely want to stay at 3 hearts, because the 3 hearts is what allows me to do sword beams. The minute I get like hit, no more sword beams. Bombs are good. I don't think I need to bomb any walls, but this is probably going to be the item that I use the most as I go through this. There's going to be certain enemies that will approach that like literally are not going to make sense to try to kill with like wooden sword, I bet. And I bet we don't get any sword upgrades for a while. So we're going to be I'm like, these enemies that we're beating up right now, like, they're nothing enemies. Like, they're not gonna really pose too much threat. Like, they just bounce around and they hope that they collide with you, right? And these sorts of enemies are just the easiest things to fight. Like, in general, it's just like spacing and making sure you're out of harm's way. You're not swinging the sword and putting yourself... Yeah, like, that was actually close. I shouldn't have swung the sword when that arrow was out. So generally speaking, this is pretty easy. We're gonna encounter eventually things like Wizrobes, I'm assuming, and Lionels. That's when you gotta really be careful. And one thing to note too is my hearts fall anywhere below full health, I lose the sword beam, and then this becomes a lot harder because now I'm gonna have to get up in their face and like space, and which is no problem really. I just have to be a lot more patient in those cases. But anyway, so far so good. Like, nothing too difficult. Like, everything I'm encountering, I could block their attacks with the shield. I have a surplus of bombs right now. Oh, so our first boss. So we probably have like a boss every 10 levels is my guess. And this is, what's it called? Like, I forget the name of this thing. I just call it like snaky fireball worm thing. I think it's called like Moldoga or something. Like, think the ones from Link to the Past and like the final boss of Majora's Mask. Like, I think that's the old version of it. So we got a heart container, that's good. We're probably gonna need a bunch of those. But I bet this is not gonna give you many, honestly. Like, ooh. So these are Gorias. They're not too difficult. They throw boomerangs which you could shield. The scary part is as they come out, it's a hard to read projectile. It's not a slow projectile. So, you don't really know when it's going to throw it out, so it's just best to kind of avoid it from the front side. Those Tech-Tikes, they're easy. Again, just like space correctly. It's a lot more dangerous when you don't have sword beams. So those are Zol, or the things that are like breaking apart, that split into two. You definitely want to, if you're low on health, you really don't want to be hitting these things with the wooden sword. Because when they split into two, they don't drop any items. You want to kind of kill them as the bigger form, and you need something a little bit more firepower than the wooden sword to do it. But for the most part, like, the enemies that we're encountering, they're still no challenge. Like, I'm waiting for the hard stuff to show up. So I anticipate this to be a little bit of a drag in the beginning. This bubble wants me dead, even though it can't really do anything. So, fun fact. The way bubble behavior and enemy behavior works in this game is you'll notice it like has a tendency, if I'm not engaging with it, to stay in the room opposite of Link. And the way enemy AI works is it's like kind of does this like sequence of there's Link like in the left section of the screen, but then there's something called an anti-Link that is like on the opposite axis of wherever Link is. So if I'm in the bottom left hand corner, there's like an anti-Link in the bottom right. And basically, what you kind of want to do if you don't want an enemy to approach you is you want to put your anti-Link kind of close to where that enemy is, because its AI says go to anti-Link or Link depending on like whichever one is closer, and it does recalculations every now and then and will like chase the other Link randomly. So the AI enemy is like the AI is like kind of dumb, and some of them are like more or less aggressive. Like Bubbles will chase it down. Octoroks are a little bit more freeform. Kind of fascinating stuff that we've like learned about this game over the years and just like how it works. I don't know if you could actually see the exact source code of this game, because you know this is like a Nintendo game, all totally probably encoded like binary or hex or something. But this is just something that like, ooh, see now I'm down a heart. So now this gets a little bit trickier. Oh, now we got a fairy, so we're good. Fairy gives you I think 5 hearts back, I believe. I can't remember. We don't need that. And I don't think the bosses come every 10. It's probably like every 10 to 15. I don't know. Okay. So far so good. I was reading that the rooms that we have, there's like 255. Oh, so there's a technique, by the way I fight these Gorias, or Gorias, whatever they're called. So you'll notice like the tile structure in this room, it's just like a tile grid, right? And the way that enemies like align, they always go up like one space on these grids, right? But Link has the unique advantage of being able to straddle grids and be able to be on a line in between grids. The way that like projectile works is will never hit you if you're in between grids. So you could kind of like always be swinging the sword as long as you're following the lines in between the grid spaces. So, and that's like minimal risk. If you're on the grids, the projectiles perfectly line up with you and you have no chance of getting in between them. So these are the, I forget what they call them, the ones that contain the bats. You need to kill them with a bomb, basically, in order for them to drop their items. Otherwise, they split into bats. They're like an upgraded Zol. Except they split into bats and fly around. The Zols make all the ground activities. Like, these are the split Zol. And die to one hit. So, ooh, okay. This dude is easy, though. Normally, what I like to do is throw a bomb in its face and kill it quicker. But you could do that too. Ooh, blue ring. That is good to see. The blue ring halves all damage that you take. So, not like I've needed this yet, honestly. But the difficulty in this game could spike pretty rapidly. The minute that you start to encounter blue Wizrobes, basically blue Wizrobes, everything gets difficult. Or if you're in a room with like a lot of blue dark nuts, it could also get pretty difficult. And if you pair the dark nuts with like bubbles and like things that you gotta avoid too, or like fireballs in the room, and because I definitely don't have the good shield. I love having the good shield, so that way I don't have to worry about fireballs and wizard things, and I could really be a little bit more aggressive with them. I don't need one ruby. In fact, the rubies haven't like done anything yet, so I bet it's gonna like sell me items or something. These are annoying, these blue levers. They just like kind of disappear. Their AI is stupid too. Like they don't chase Link down or anything. They just occupy space. Like they're actually way better suited for the overworld than the underworld in that regard. Because like generally when you're encountering them, they're like in kind of tight spaces or in the desert, which is like wide open. So they're like a non-threat there. Honestly, still again, everything is a non-threat at this point. Everything's like whole sole purpose is to collide with you. Blue snakes collide with you, but do it quickly. And again, they can't align with you in between grids, so it's a good. Oh, what's going on in this room? Oh, red levers. They don't start spawning until you move. Red levers are actually more dangerous than the blue ones. They could catch you by surprise if you didn't know that they were supposed to be there in the room. Oh, and we gotta kill these pea-hats. Ugh, annoying. I almost like never try to kill those in the wild because of just like how they stop and slow down. They're just annoying. Oh, so now we're down. See, now it becomes a little bit more difficult. Like, now I gotta get up in their faces, and that's where... Come on, drop a heart. I like sword beaming. Okay. Alright, these rooms are pretty easy though, still. You kind of want the pea-hats to, like, stop in between lines, but I don't, you know, I'm used to seeing them, like, stop in the overworld. I don't think they can. I think they have to stop on a square. Ah! So you'll notice that little red dude, that is our first dark nut. Oh, nice. Dark nuts, when you first encounter these in the game, you're like, why can't I hit them from the front? Like, they eat the hits, and you have to eat them from the sides or the backs. This is the red variety. They're a lot less tough. They're slower. They don't do as much damage. So they're really no threat at this point. Especially in that kind of configuration. They ain't gonna really challenge you. Oh! Okay. This is big. Getting the wand. So the wand shoots projectiles, right? The projectile itself does double the damage of the sword. But the thing is, it doesn't work on every enemy. It'll only kill specific enemies. However, the handle of the wand does just as much as the white sword. The only enemies that like it doesn't work on are the Wizrobes, but it still works on like the things like the Dark Nuts. It's a very interesting property thing. So like it won't work on Gleeok, right? And I don't think you'll notice that the tip of the wand does the damage. It'll do faster damage, but if I want to attack from a distance, I have to do it with sword beams. So I have a safe play with this, and I also can just get up in its face. But you'll notice that the wand beam doesn't do shit. So, not too bad. Gleeok with 2 heads, not hard. Most of them are not hard, the Gleeoks. Also, technically the wand is a wider projectile, and the head of the wand also is a little bit wider at the tip. So you do get some more hitbox coverage out of it. But very minor improvement over the sword, I should say. Sorry, if there are things that like I say that don't make sense, it's because like I've played this game so many times. Ooh, that was my fault. So this is one of those examples of like either sword beams or you hit it with the wand directly. You can't hit it with the wand bursts. Wand bursts kill these things like they're nothing. Everything in this room hits the wand. So we should pick up that heart. Technically the game does count. Like my hearts didn't decrease when I took that fireball. Normally if I was in a green tunic it would do half damage, but because I'm wearing the blue ring it only did a quarter. And this game doesn't penalize you for quarters, but it is counting them. So like the next fireball would take me down to a half heart. But if I recover any health with like a fairy or heart, it actually takes me back up to full health, even though it's not represented in the UI. And I gotta deal with this P-hat. I'm like, I almost don't see P-hats in this game. I'm like, just ignore them, just because of like how annoying they are. You can't hit them while they're moving. You can only hit them while they're stopped. And it does look like they stop in between positions on the tiles. So far so good. We're basically a fourth through all the rooms, right? Because there's no, we're basically like a fifth, somewhere between a fifth and a fourth of these rooms. So, and the wand kills the big Zols without any drama of them splitting. So. Take that. Yeah, that's right, Big Daddy. Take my wand. Okay, alright, that was nothing. Come on, give me something that's like a challenge. No, you know what? Maybe I don't want a challenge right away. I'm gonna get worried the minute Wizrobes start to show up, though. Because once Wizrobes are in these rooms, oh my god. Game difficulty goes way up. Like, the procedure clearly is to, like, introduce more difficult enemies as you go. Like, try not to overwhelm you from the beginning. That's it? A single P-hat? Oh, we got a boss in the next room. Okay. What do we think it is? Maybe the Dongos? I feel like the Dongos is on the menu at this point. Yep. Oh. So, trick with the Dodongos... Oh, I don't need that. Trick with the Dodongos is basically... Throw a bomb that's about to, like, stun it in its place, and then when it wakes up kind of from the stun animation, have another bomb's smoke get in it, but, like, explode on top of it. You don't want it to eat it. Because then what happens is it gets stunned, and you can immediately kill it with your sword, and it always drops bombs. And the Dongos are notorious for, like, going through your bombs, especially if you're not skilled with the placement. It could, like, kill your run if you run out of bombs on the Dodongo screen, so... It's more of an annoyance than anything, and it's purely, like, randomness if it decides to turn or keep moving in place. But again, like, every enemy in this game, if it's... It can't really change directions while it's in tile. Like, in moving on it between tiles. So the idea is to get at the kind of time at the point where enemies would stop as they were transitioning between tiles is kind of the secret to like avoiding the RNG with the doggos. RNG means like randomness, but sorry, if I'm like talking very advanced, like I could slow something down if there's like questions. Hi 3 viewers, I hope you're enjoying this. Definitely let me know like what your kind of like experiences with Zelda 1, because like I could definitely tailor how I'm talking about it a lot more. I'm just very advanced at this game, and when I say advanced, like I wouldn't call myself like a pro speedrunner, but like I can learn it. I can learn how to do it. There's a couple things I don't know how to do in the speedruns. Like I don't know how to screen hop. Is the only glitch I don't know how to do. And they're probably way better at killing certain enemies than I am. Again, I really suck at whiz robes, but you gotta get really good with those. Ooh, man. I hate Paul's voice. I hope I get a bow and arrow later, because just make that a lot easier. Oh, so you did play Link to the Past. I mean, this was my first Zelda game, and then I guess Zelda 2 after that, but I didn't play it, but then Link to the Past was right after it, and my mind was blown. Like, my dad came home with the Super Nintendo that day, and bought Link to the Past, and Super Mario World, and, like, Super Mario All-Stars. I'll never forget it. And, like, I remember booting Link to the Past up, and was just amazed by the improvement in graphics, and more items. It was so much more of, like, an open world, and it was so much more colorful, and I don't know. It blew my mind. And to this day, I still think of it as like a perfect game. Very few, and that is a game I do replay like every year or so. And I could breeze through it too. But there are people that are like way better at it than I am. I still struggle with like things like Turtle Rock but I could get through that thing like 0 deaths and do it pretty quickly. Oh, Game Boy, so you played Link's Awakening. I think you played Link's Awakening. Yeah. Did you play it for Switch though? Like the remake? I think it never goes on sale, but I highly recommend it. Yeah, definitely check it out. Your like childhood nostalgia will like have like a seizure, almost like a good seizure. Like it's it's amazing. Is it worth $60? No. Is it worth $40? Yes. So wait till like Nintendo will put its games on sale like once or twice a year. Wait till it's like $40 for like a Black Friday deal, or like there may be a sale right now. Like I would see if it's available. Oh man, Handla. I mean, usually I take this thing out with a bomb, but you'll notice it starts getting really aggressive very quickly. Sometimes you just have to tank the hits. Oh, come on. Come on, just get lucky. It's so fast! Okay, we got it. Ooh, and we got a white sword. Alright, that's what we like to see. This will be helpful for the Wizrobes, because you can't hit the Wizrobes at all with the wand. And will help us like really whittle them away. I bet we're gonna see Wizrobes soon though. And once we see them, this will be a totally different game. So I do little techniques of like lining up enemies behind projectiles if I can, so you could like take 2 out in one swing. So we can't get that ruby because we don't have a ladder, nor do we have a boomerang. And I honestly, I don't use the boomerang at all. Like it's kind of useless because like everything that's like weak to the boomerang is also weak to the wand and weak to the bow and arrow. Like you might as well just be doing damage. Like you don't need to throw that thing out and stun it. The only thing that I'm like kind of like it for is like if I encounter a what do they call it? The thing with the eye. Oh my god. I can't even think of not dig dogger. Yeah, if I encounter a dig dogger, it's kind of useful because you could. And I'll point it out if it comes up, but this one, finding this early was a game changer. Like, it's almost like in these rooms, hearts don't really matter that much. And it looks like the hearts don't drop that often now that I'm this far. Like, it is getting really particular about giving me hearts. I think it changed the, like the item drops. This ROM hack. Normally, you would see a lot more hearts coming out of these enemies. Oh, here we go. Here's a fun room. Alright. Red Dark Nuts. This would give a beginner a good challenge. So, my technique is, again, kind of watch how they're forced to move into spaces, right? So kind of the idea is like to be in between the tiles and let them walk into your sword in the next tile, because they can't change their direction. The minute that you swing their sword and they're... Oh, yeah, we definitely need this. The minute that they try to change direction, like they will try to change direction while moving in between tiles, and that will increase the likelihood that like you're not going to hit them, and you may actually tank a hit. So that's kind of my technique for taking them out. And with Blue Dark Nuts, you're just doing that a lot faster. Now, likes are stupid. Like, they're basically your big-bootied Gibdos. And if I get a magic shield, it's like toast. But they don't ever drop items. So they're just like big doofuses that solely exist to like whittle you away and will never give you anything back. So we do not like likes. And like, but you know, they still have the stupid strategy of like, I'm gonna try to collide with you, which honestly, Ooh, okay, well you could collide with me as I am critiquing how that they could really collide with me, but I've been wronged. Notice how like hearts and fairies are not showing. I'm just gonna shut my mouth. Now I wonder if there's like secrets behind some of these, but I doubt it. At some point I bet we're gonna have to start like so you're only also allowed one projectile on the screen. As you may notice, I can't beam swords while the our hours for the bow unlimited. Oh hey Lenny, I haven't seen you in a while. And also, this is fucked up what the game just did to me. How the fuck am I supposed to kill this thing if I don't have arrows? I do not have... Oh wait, I do have arrows. When did I pick these up? When did I pick up arrows? I guess they come with the Whoa, I just got silver arrows. That's major. These are stronger than the sword that I have right now, so I may switch to these over the wand. And basically, instead of arrows in this game, it just like takes away your money. So yeah, you like I don't... No, I bought the bow, I didn't buy the arrows. The bow has always historically been a separate item in this game from the arrows. So I guess you get the bow with the arrows. Which makes more sense because that's what it is like in every single Zelda game. But typically you'd have to find them separately. So that was Goma before, the one I had to shoot with an arrow. You have to kill it with an arrow. Alright. Take you out. Simple enough. I don't even need that. Oh, now I do. Yeah, in the newer games, they all came with the bow. In the first one, Nintendo didn't quite grasp that the arrow should probably come with the bow. But then you also have this concept of the arrow upgrade, and it had to treat it as two separate... Ooh, so this is a Lionel. Technically, not too dangerous. And you'll notice if I straddle lines, it can't... Oh wait, it can't hit me with the projectile! I must have been like a little bit too far over. But sometimes you could like squeeze in between the projectiles that they throw out. And now we got our beams back. Oop. Oh, I missed. Come on, slow down, one of yous. But that was a Lionel. As you notice, it throws sword beams, and I can't block them. I need a magic shield to block them. And there's ways to like position myself in between spaces where they don't like hit me, but obviously I wasn't skilled there. So you'll see it at some point during the run. Be a little piece of crap. Okay, here we go. Oop. You could pick up you could pick up rubies with your arrows, assuming that they spawn from an enemy. If they spawn in the room, you can't. Interesting how the Armos just like spawn in a random location. Like I don't even have to push the Armos to get those like to light up. That was the Armos, the thing that you just saw fly around the room and me like kill it in like 2 hits. And again, its only purpose is to body you. Ooh, we got a boss. Oh, trips da dongs. Okay, so if we're economical, like I may be able to take multiple out with bombs, but that's some killer placement. You definitely want to collect bombs as we go. Notice my timing, like stun him with a bomb, and then let it explode in its face on a separate tile, so that way he can't accidentally pick it up, but the smoke still kind of covers it into the face. I will watch people go through their bombs like they're nothing by mistake. Oop. Okay, those are blue Goyras. They are do just as much damage as the reds, and like you could shield the boomerang. They're not that dangerous. They just got a little bit of a bigger booty than the reds. Moblins are no problem. They die in 1 hit. Okay, Armos everywhere. Again, they can be tricky if you're not timed right. There's fast ones and slow ones, as you can see, and the fast ones will like body you on occasion if you're not paying attention. It's again, but you would only see them on the overworld in the main game. You would never see them in the dungeons, and in those areas, like it's a lot tighter spaces. So in a lot of cases, so it's a lot more threatening there. There we go. Yeah, you'll notice the arrows take out the bunny rabbit things called Pole's Voice in 1 hit. This one didn't actually have anything outside the bubbles. The bubbles, if you haven't noticed what they do, so now I could kill those in 1 hit and get items with the blue arrow, the silver arrow. What bubbles do, I think you saw me get hit by one of them earlier, the big sparkly white things. If I get bodied by one, I don't take any damage, but then I can't swing my sword for approximately 3 seconds. And that could be dangerous if I'm like have a bunch of enemies on top of me. But generally, like, it's pretty easy to work around. Sometimes it just makes sense to take the hit from them. Alright, good to see you, Andrew. So again, like, because I'm not on the tile, like, and I'm hitting it in between tiles, it can't change direction. So, and normally we'll know to, oh my god. This is literally the worst possible room you could encounter right now. So, look at this position that I'm in. Okay, I can't cross this body of water, and these blue wizrobes are about to close in on my position. These blue wizrobes are the worst enemies in the game. When I take a hit, it's going to do 1 hit, 1 heart for me. And you'll notice I basically can only do that 5 times. The way that they chase you down is almost like the way that a knight chases down a piece on a chessboard. They move in an L pattern. As you can see, the way this room is laid out, L pattern, L patterns, L patterns everywhere. And I can't cross this body of water. If I had a ladder, I'd be able to get out of this bad scenario. The best thing I could do right now is probably just throw bombs down and finish this as quickly as possible. What I should really be doing is this. I think I gotta get to the bottom of that room where you kind of see like a 3x4 and kind of corral them a little bit up and down there. You could out L pattern them so they can never really line up a shot. But being that there's 4 in this room, like I think they're gonna like have ways of like cornering me. And again, I'm gonna have to be very creative about getting out of the way. I think this is where I die, honestly. Like I think this may be my last room. But here's my pattern that I'm thinking. I'm going to just go straight down to that blue wizrobe. The minute that I try to get in contact with it, swing my sword so I could walk through it. Walk through it so I don't take a bodied hit, get to the bottom, dodge, 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 and just throw bombs down and let them walk into the bombs. It's not a guaranteed thing. It's actually pretty difficult. And what's going to happen to me is I'm going to unpause. I think I have to hit the select button. Let me see. I have the arrows. I have bombs, and I have the wand. So I got to push it twice, the select button. Okay. This is going to be tough. But let's see if we can do it. All right. Ready, and go. Oh, I'm out. Oh my god, I lived! Holy crap! Okay. I've never done something like that before, but it was definitely a room where it was like, slow it down, there's like a strategy here. Please don't do that to me again. Ooh. And I forgot I picked up a candle, so like my selection was like, oh my god. Okay, so that's a blue dark knot. You'll notice it's faster than its red cousin, and will do more damage if it collides with me, but really you just play the game with it a little bit faster. Not threatening at 1 or 2 or 3, way more threatening when you're in a room full of them. And again, if there's like traps in the room, if there's fireballs in the room, that gets really dicey real quick. Oh, and there's a boss. Okay, this isn't a real boss. It's very similar to her cousin before that, like, was... Oh, yeah, if they body you, though, it hurts. It's very similar to her, the fiery, like, ball cousin, but it does a little bit more damage. We'll see the blue ones later. Those kind of suck, because they move so fast that you can't, like, really outmaneuver them. And then they'll body you, and I think they do about the same amount of damage, but they will body you till like you're dead. And again, the goal is to try to get on the opposite side of the room of the big Lamolas, and then they will kind of gravitate more to anti-Link than to regular Link. Easy rooms so far, come on. The minute the blue wizrobe rooms come out, you know, and I love how this game just went right to blues. It just kind of skipped the reds. Like, you don't need to worry about those. Alright, so we're at 129. We need to get more bombs back, because if I encounter another wizrobe room, this isn't too bad. You notice a red line will dies to 1 arrow. They do the same amount. Oh god. Okay, so we got more. And it's only 2. Let's try to snipe them. Because I could use sword beams and just give them distance so they can't really get in. Oop. So you'll notice kind of the way you work at them is like kind of, you want to suffocate them a bit so they can't do their L movement. But remember when they're on a tile, they could change direction like that and surprise you. You want to like make it so they can't even possibly turn into you. A lot easier said than done. Ooh, that was close. I almost took a hit there. Okay. sword in between tiles. Come on. Come on. Went after anti-link for some weird reason. Easy. We'll take that heart for sure. I have like now Wizrobe PTSD, and like I'm terrified the minute I walk in a room it's just gonna be full of blue Wizrobes. And I bet this game will throw like blue Wizrobes. Oh my god, red ones. So red Wizrobes. Actually a lot easier to defeat. They do not move. They stand in a position and then they basically hurl their fireballs at Link. If you get hit by one with the blue ring on, it'll do 2 hearts. So you really should be careful around these, especially when we're in the room with other enemies, because these you may not prioritize, and boom, like if you're not watching, they snipe you. Not the best. In this kind of room, in this kind of setup, you basically just like don't stand where you are for too long and you'll be able to take them out. So, and they'll just take 2 sword swings each. And you'll notice like they have their position settled. Like even if I move around them, it will not change position and hone on Link. So they're pretty weak. I'm not too worried about them. It's more about their combos with other enemies where it can get dangerous. Finals, might as well just silver arrow all of them. Oop. This is where having a magic shield helps, but looks like we're good. Because I would love to be able to just like take the projectile. Okay, these are not threatening. I could hit them. Oh, this is not bad at all. Okay, I mean, they put the blue ones on the outside, and honestly, this is like a best from a distance thing. It'll be a little bit slower, but the way that this room is oriented... Okay, and you can't... I think you could accidentally get sniped if you're, like, cornered, but I have a technique. I do have a technique, and I gotta stick around the bottom one. You'll notice you could kind of, like, position yourself in between tiles, and when it comes in you do this. It is an advanced technique, but it is well worth it if you know how to, like, it makes Dark Nuts a lot less intimidating, but you gotta have good timing. So watch. Your sword, it still kind of walks into your sword and you could walk through it. See, this is where you're like, I can't swing my sword. You can take these out. Okay, but we don't need to waste all our money. And as we learned, we may have to buy things, so I don't want to overuse my arrows. I don't have to. So, what do we... Oh, okay. Well, I'm about to take a hit. I'm going to have to get around it. And get on the other side of the room. That may be the harder part. Okay, now that we're here, it should take 2 silver arrows, I believe, and it's done. It's a tougher Goma. Does the same amount of damage. Okay, that we like to see. We got a medicine. This will completely refill our hearts in a pinch. So, don't accidentally use it. If we're getting real bodied by Wizrobes, it's gonna save our ass. Let's switch to blue for now. I'm getting worried about something coming up. So that's a fast armor, so I almost took a hit. Yeah, let's collect a little bit more rubies. There may be stuff that we need to buy later. I'd like to get a little bit higher in my count. We're almost at 155, and we will have 100 more rooms to go. But I'm getting nervous. By the time we get to the late 200s, you're gonna see combo like Dark Nut, Wizrobe rooms with like bubbles and fireballs. Like I am expecting the absolute worst. Okay. 150. Oops. I get a little too comfortable around the Moblins sometimes. Like, they got slow projectiles and they're weak to everything. Like, they're no threat. Okay. Let's prioritize Wizrobe. Alright, I think we found a shop. Actually, I'm gonna skip the boomerang. I don't need it. I really don't need it. You don't really need it. When you have a wand... Oh, see, that would have been a good use of... Silver Arrow, honestly. Because they will pop. They will not pop into bat. Oh, well, it didn't matter. My bad. So you'll notice it just changed direction while I was on the tile, but it will not change directions when I'm in between. Yeah, I get very used in this game to not being lined up with tiles. It's kind of like a funny talent of mine. Like, and that's the best place to be because your enemies are technically a lot less responsive. Because they've already committed to their movement up, down, left, or right. We are past the 155 mark. I just thought, okay. I knew this was gonna happen. So now we got Dark Notes and Blue Dark Nuts and Blue Wizrobe. Let's prioritize that Wizrobe. The thing is, these Dark Nuts are gonna want a body for it and like take hits because they're chasing after me. So I think we're just gonna reposition and kind of circle the room a bit until I could kind of line up some range shots against that Wizrobe and do it safely. Oof, see, that was risky. Ooh, but we can use that. And again, the idea is, you kind of want enemies to walk into your sword. You don't want to, you want to kind of know where they're going and shoot to where they're going. It's almost like first-person shooter rules. Oh, this is bad. Just in case. The bombs will help you deal with them, too. Oh, nice. Got a bunch of blue items. Oh, interesting. Oh, I got hit by the... whatever. These may drop a heart. Oh, or fairy. I like to see that. I think it's following, like, drop table rules. Like, if you hit a certain amount of enemies and, like, without... Oh, my God. Okay. Patra, right? This thing is a tank. It's got very high health. And the annoying thing about it, too, is you could only damage it with sword or sword beams. This thing has the most interesting, like, attack pattern in the game. Where, like, you'll notice, like, it tries to hit you with its little orbits, right? And you'll notice you don't actually get a lot of space in the room the way it orbits. And it'll change its patterns around. It could even try to hit you from the other side if it gets too close from the walls. It's a little bit hard because of the speed of the little, like, planets like orbiting it. So sometimes it gets a little bit hard to time. Like, I'm just kind of swinging in the blue because I know I could hit a lot of them, but now this is where the timing gets a little bit harder. And then once it's kind of all done, we're good. That's the easier pattern where it's just kind of doing a fixed orbit, same distance. There'll be another one where they're closer and it, like, widens the orbit. That one's the harder one. And you will take hits from it. I'm not good at killing those, to be honest. Okay. Okay. 163. We're getting close to the end. Oh, that's not fair. Oh my god. I was like, okay, I gotta take a hit. Just stack them all up against me, head on. You'll notice interesting properties too. Like, depending on where you're standing. Okay. Not bad. Can you stop, please? Can you please just stop? Can you just stop? You good? You good? You good? Yeah, you good. Ooh, okay. Just clear the room for me. But taking some hits. We'll recover it though, I'm not worried. Really? Those things? How do you just avoid them? Like they're just invincible bodies and you can't get hit by them. Or what do I do? Is it? Oh, I see. There's one flying around that's the fake one and this one's the real one. Yeah, so those are Guineas, and there's like one ringleader amongst them that you have to kill and it's killable, and the other ones you can't hit and they will body you. So good to know that they spawn. They're usually not something you encounter either. They're only in like a couple of rooms on the overworld in the graveyard, and you never see them in the rest of the game. Sweet, we're back to full health. I want to get a magic shield. Like, I like walking through my fireballs. We're doing great. I'm still worried about some crazy rooms coming up though. Okay. So this is actually a room that kind of favors the red robe. But not a problem. Doesn't matter. But we got a boss. Ooh, in this kind of room too? Okay, Gluyak ain't bad. Alright. We're pros. Alright. Nice. Alright, see ya. I wonder if we get a ladder later. Bit of a refund on those arrows. Did you see that? I was like, I can line up a trick shot where I kill the pole and also damage the Gibdo. You gotta think economically too when you're screwing around with arrows. Oh, that was like a delayed like. Eh. Yeah, if you hit a shot at a girl while the boomerang is out, it delays its like pushback animation. Okay, there it is. There's a real one. The fake ones could cross between walls. The fake ones follow the rules of physics. I mean the other way. The real one follows the rules of physics. The fake ones could go through walls. As I shoot bows and arrows over the bricks. Okay. Easy peasy. What? You know, like, the difficulty is so varied. Like, these are nothing rooms. I am waiting for... Oh, see? Okay, so this red one is gonna blast me. Granted, I should probably take out red first, cause like, oh god, I hate. Yeah, we don't want to deal with that while we're trying to corral our blues. So you'll notice, like, I'm in a distance enough that they can't really like L shape into me. And I'm getting them kind of in between some of the L's to like know when to swing. Like you could kind of tell, like thinks every about like 3 or 4 squares that it moves, where it's like I'm gonna change my position or like rapidly teleport or like move between stuff. You'll notice sometimes it glitches a little bit backwards too. Like the movement is very tricky on them. But as long as you hit them after they've committed to... Oh yeah, we'll take this. There's going to be some weirdness in some of these rooms, and this will be helpful. So now that we have the step ladder, we can walk over any bodies of water. But, yeah, you kind of want to hit it after it's just committed to a movement change. And you'll generally be safe, but the minute that there's like a bunch of them mowing you down, it just becomes very hard to do that. Oh, okay. I'm waiting for the room of like impossible configuration, and there's like 7 of them. We'll probably get it by like dungeon room 254. Well, Ganon's actually probably gonna be 254 to be honest, because we're gonna beat Ganon to get Zelda probably in 255. Oop. And I hope we get a Master Sword. Oh, this is a good room. And when I mean good, it's tough. Because if you think about it, they're going to try to mow you down on every straight line. We're going to be using bombs to like help with area coverage. And then we're going to like kind of wait for them to come to us and be using our technique to like walk through them. I think it's a little bit tricky with the number that are on the screen, but I think if we have patience, we kind of stick to a general area and let them kind of walk and pass us by. I like the idea of sticking in between some of these rows and obviously favoring the row that has the least amount of them, because the last thing you want to do is try to like tank one, tank one, tank one. It gets a little bit too difficult. So let's see how we do. Yeah, this is difficult. Oh, good. I think this is actually a very hard room. And this is always a good technique. Your sword could reach over the blocks upwards, but not downwards, you'll notice. So, better to stay probably closer to the lower part of the room now that I'm like thinking this room over. It would have been better to be here, because then I could have like sniped. Anyway, next time. Okay, so similar setup, just a little easier though, frankly. But these pea hats are just like annoying. Oh yeah, we need that. See, they're attacking Anti-Link over in the opposite corner, and it's enough to like keep the Dark Nuts away. But now I think they're catching on that they're attacking Anti-Link, and they want me dead now. Okay, so. It's like a little shooting gallery. Okay. Catch him around the corner, catch him around the corner. Catch him around the corner. And that, oop, come on, come on. There we go. Ooh. Be careful. That was an interesting config. I was like, man, all fast bodies and this red Wizrobe, and I was just, oh no, this is the expanding contractor one, isn't it? Yeah, and this is a weird config. We're only gonna be able to hit this in like specific locations. Like, I don't want to get that close because I will get hit, and you'll notice I can't really manipulate where I am in the room space. Like, I kind of have to really take this one patiently, and I kind of always have to be out of range because I don't have sword beams, and I gotta wait till it's like in the max range and kind of hit them while they're in max range. This is gonna take a while. I'm not a fan of this, but I gotta play this one safe. There's no reason to get aggressive. You have unlimited time playing this game. Oop. See what I mean? Like, the spacing is hard, and the timing is equally as hard. And I'm afraid to like be here. Let's see. Like, it's kind of on an angle too. You always gotta pay attention to what direction it's kind of. Let's see. Oh, come on, bitch. Okay, he's like direct in center now. Oh, this is bad. Ooh, bad. I don't want to have to drink this medicine, but I may at this rate. Oh, come on. And I have to stay to the outer perimeter. Like, trying to move in, I'm just going to get further stuck as this thing. Oh my god. So annoying. And we can only take one more hit before we have to drink this medicine. Okay. Dang it. I mean, but granted, we have sword beams now. But it's still not safe. Okay. Whew. So much easier with sword beams. Ooh, okay. Recorder. Literally, only thing we're gonna need that for is if we see this one specific enemy. Otherwise, it's completely useless. Okay, interesting. I wasn't expecting to get this. Okay, so now we have the magic shield. We could take Wizrobe beams. We could take most fireballs. There's like a couple exceptions to that rule. It's the boss's projectiles you can't take. And you can't... yeah, there's nothing blocking boss projectiles. I could block the Lionel beams. We love seeing this, but we gotta be mindful of likes. I could take that too. Oh, right. I never see those P hats. Like, I really don't. I normally don't even swing at them on the... Oh, now, you would think this would be a difficult room, but the fact that you have a stepladder and the fact that Dark Nuts cannot step on the stepladder means that, like, you have all these crazy angles against them. Like, they are completely a non-threat in this room. Even if they were fast. Like, it's very hard to get hit, because you'll notice you cannot walk onto that stepladder with me. Also, blue Wizrobes are a non-threat in this room, usually, because of their crazy pattern. You'll notice how it kind of gets stuck moving between things that it cannot land on. And it's just specific to like this room config. Lots of blocks can really work in your favor, or lots of water when fighting Wizrops. Ooh, let's get that. Alright, we're at room 200. 55 to go. Oh, dang. Shit. I hate bubbles. They just slow you down. It just means you gotta keep dodging. This shouldn't be a problem. This is a good room config and it's only 2. We like rooms with a lot of space where Link could just kind of freely move. Anything constricting gets very hard to dodge. Ooh, my bad. It's very hard to dodge, as you've seen. Ooh. Ooh. It's very fast. Like, I will get bodied if I'm too close. Ooh, see, normally... Great thing we found that magic shield. Because I hate these rooms without them. Especially when we're fighting things like Dark Nuts. And, like, you want to be able to move to the space that you want to. You don't want to also have to be worrying about fireballs and dodging them. Because it just slows you down like crazy. And when you're dodging 5 things at once too, it is a lot of patience and work. Okay, not worried about you anymore. I bet we're gonna find Big Dogger. Watch. Yep. Only time you need it. And it's painfully easy. You just gotta hit this little guy. Interesting. I'd almost say that's like a bad idea sometimes, getting the book, because it causes things to burst on fire, which is, it's good for like certain things, like likes, and give, oh my god. This is a tough room, technically. Like, look at how limited I am, and like, it's, you're gonna have to stay in corners. I don't know how else to... And almost follow bubbles around. There we go. Because you do not want to get hit. Man, see, that sucked. Oh, see, that's why I don't like getting them. Shit like that. That's why I hate picking up the book. You technically are likely to take more damage, but it explodes, and again, good for certain enemies, but... Oh, beautiful. We'll take it. But I would like to recover my hearts, please. As we get closer, we're almost there. I really don't want to die. Okay, not bad. Come on! Come on! Oh. Okay. I knew this day would come! Oh god. This is a room I'm probably not going to survive, to be completely honest with you. So, the strategy to this, honestly, bomb crazy, get in the middle, and try your best. But, oh my god, there is limited movement here. 4 hearts. I can only take 3 hits. I think this may be the end of the road. Oh my god. This is not what I wanted to say. There's 7 of them. 7 of them that I will have to corral with bombs. Yeah. And like get around the room alive. It's just, yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. 214 ain't bad, honestly. Crap. I knew it'd be blue wizrobes in a bad config. But this is fun. This is like a cool little short stream. Man, I do want to go for the 255 though. I feel like this is like very luck based. Like there's just a chance that you don't have that problem and you don't encounter them like that. So I don't know. I think it's doable, but not this time around. I'll maybe try this again. I think it's a cool little ROM hack, and I do like that it's a ROM hack. So you can put this on any emulator and play it pretty easily. Like Zelda Randomizer, you have to build the ROM, so you always need access to a PC to do those. I wish there was just like a web endpoint that did it for you, but c'est la vie. I don't know if you're listening, Zelda NES Randomizer developer, but making a web-based app as opposed to a Windows desktop-based app would be beautiful. But this is a fun hack. I recommend it if you're a big Zelda fan, and you're good at Zelda 1 and you want an interesting challenge. But yeah, this was cool. I love Ancient Dungeon. Congratulations. Thanks. Who's the developer who made this? Like, you did a great job. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your evening. I thought this was a cool little like side project play. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. Have a happy new year. Thanks for tuning in with me all the time and saying hello. Like, always happy to have you all on the stream. Tell your friends to come if they're in. But then again, I don't really post a schedule, so that's like my fault. So I'm happy you could join like on a push notifications notice with me. I'll just say that much. So love you all. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. And I will probably maybe stream again either this weekend or maybe a little bit of the new year. My whole life has been upended with my jobs. Just lots of drama there. So I don't think I'll have a lot of gaming time till February, to be completely honest with you. But until then, thanks for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.